Good morning. Today's subject is one totally different but relevant to today's social and political sexual changes. What is interesting, you knew a man, you can define a man by his stability and ableness to run his ship. A good captain of a ship will steer it into away from the storms. He looks after his passengers. If there is danger, then the captain goes down with the ship and save those who are in it, his passengers. However, with today male identity being in crisis, the force of feminism has knocked men out with a Mike Tyson uppercut and a right. Men are now dizzy, being knocked out too many times. Men are now dizzy. They don't know whether they're coming or going. And as a result, his house is not in order. Each year, every summer, you can guarantee the children's fashion becomes sleazier and sleazier. And yet, if these households are headed by a father and a mother, I would like to ask the fathers a question. How do you justify the inappropriate clothing, attire, or children's fashion that your daughters are wearing? Why would you allow the fashion industry to sexualize your daughter? But I don't just want to put the pressure on men. But we are supposed to be living in an era of women's equality, feminism. And yet women have no problem with the young girls today being sexualized. Is that about choice? Where do you draw the line? If we're supposed to be about brains and intellect, why are today's girls not focusing on education, but rather to see who can wear the skimpy shorts, the shortest dress? What happened to the brains? What happened to intelligence? What happened to competing with men or boys on the intellectual level? It doesn't add up. Feminism seems to have failed because on the one hand, they try to fight and wrestle and compete with men. They've lost control of the up and coming generation of girls who are victims to the fashion pedophile industry. Maybe there's something sleazier and dark going on here. Maybe women really don't care about valuing their bodies or valuing the daughters. Maybe it's just an economic jealousy. Maybe there's no morality really involved with feminism. It is a disgrace, this total disgrace, when you have a strong man and he can't even lay down the rules in his house. If I had a daughter, there is no way she would be wearing some of the sleazy fashion that I've seen out there. I don't want to get too controversial, but it's interesting that the age of sexual revolution, who are behind the children's fashion? Gay people. Always have done. I'm not going to mess about. Gay people are behind most of children's fashion. Gay people have a thing about sexualizing the attires, sexualizing clothes and costume. Let's not mess around. Speak facts for themselves. Forget about PC. I don't believe in it. You look at any of my videos, I'm not into political correctness, whether race, whether gender, whether sex. I believe in speaking the truth. And homosexuals, they are the ones who are behind all these children's fashion. And the LGBT is all about sexual behavior, expression. Don't mock it, it's right. It's all about the forbidden. But what gets me is how you could walk with your daughter, male or female, mother or father, and you pick up from the shelf the skimpiest, nastiest clothing and think that is befitting for your child. You rather pick up a skimpy pants than a book. You've played right into the game of the system, and that is to sexualize children. You're playing right into the New World Order without being able to see it. They have an agenda. They want to lower the age of consent. They know what they're doing. And how do they do it? If you can convince the parents that your children are adults, hence why in the 1990s they forbidden spanking your children. You can't discipline them. They want your children to feel like they're adults. Give them children's rights. This is from the European Union, the European laws. They're the ones who outlawed, disciplining your children. Hello? How can you have a house where your children are not being disciplined? And you wonder why parents have lost control over their children. You wonder why you got kids out there taking pictures and cameras, watching other kids battering each other. This is what you get when the parents lose control. You got kids battering each other, happy slapping and recording it on their phone while they're fighting and stamping each other to death. They do what adults do. They're no longer kids anymore. They claim that children as young as 8 years old, I'm not sure if this is true or not, children as young as 8 years old and now looking at pornography. I'm not sure if they can even spell it. Pornography is a long word, but children as young as 8 years old are looking at pornography. Can they spell it? They might understand it. Whether you like it or not, there's an LGBT influence behind it. Gay people always work in fashion. If you look at the fashion industry, who's it run by? Gay people. As I told you, I'm not politically correct. Whether race, sex, gender, disability, I speak the truth. The day the government brought in this legislation where you don't spank or discipline children, I knew something was up. It didn't add up. I knew something was wrong. They wanted children to feel like adults, negotiate on an adult level, wear adult clothing, do adult things. And look at the world today. Look how crazy it is. Little girls go to school with their skirt up their panties. I'd explain that. We're living in a fragile age where everything is out in the surface, everything is out in the open, every kind of vile thing is going on. And yet, the father of his ship has kept his mouth shut. He doesn't care about how society is influencing his daughter. If this is the fruit of feminism, then feminism should remain in the goddamn bin. I've not seen no man yet, no man who will stood up and say to his daughter, "Oh no, you're not wearing that." And you know why? He gets clouded. Or if he tells his daughter what to do, then he's a sexist. The fool can't even decipher what is having a relationship with his daughter and listen to goddamn feminism. He can't decipher it. He's so stupid. You are the feminist who have no morals, who wants to have an abortion at 9 months. Look it up. These feminists, they want to carry a baby for 9 months and then kill it while the baby's alive. You're going to listen to those kind of freaks. Feminists do not care about how the industry is sexualizing little girls. They don't care. Because it's either run by lesbians who are pedophiles themselves. 2017, women have been screaming, "Oh, I want to be an astronaut. I want to fly a rocket." And yet they're going backwards because the fashion industry are sexualizing girls. I thought you banned page 3, the newspapers, models, because you were saying that it was against women. It was sexualizing women. I thought Benny Hill a TV program came off the 1980s because you claim it was sexist. Then how do you explain those little girls who are dressed like adults? And it gets worse than this. It's interesting how a lot of single mothers, what do? They sexualize their daughters in order to attract men. It's been known in the black community, I'm not sure, in white community as well, but in the black community, they sexualize their daughters in order to attract men. This is a Jamaican saying, which goes, "Marco, while you're milking the cow, it's the calf that they're looking at." Marco, meaning warning, take heed. While they milking the cow, is actually the calf that they're looking at, the younger calf. So you think that they're looking at the cow, but they're not. They're looking at the calf. Sorry, not the cow, but the calf. Right? So a lot of desperate mothers will do desperate things. They'll see their budding daughters coming up and say, "You know something, if I use her, I can find myself a man and he can pay my bills." It happens in the black community a lot. They sexualize their daughters. And these daughters end up being abused by their stepfather. So it's a vicious cycle. Really vicious. But it sends out negative signals. It tells girls that they are sexual at such a young age. Not that they're intellectual and potentially intelligent. No, it tells them that all there are is tits and vaginas. And what's interesting, the music industry, all the music industry which feeds into it. You got all these pop stars, and I'm not going to call them pop stars. You got all these female artists, Lady Gaga dressing naked on stage, and they are actually paving a way and influencing these young girls to dress like, let's be honest, just like trash, just like tarts. Lady Gaga and Britney Spears and all these Miley Cyrus. They call themselves feminist. Madonna call themselves feminist, and they dress like tramps. They influence the next generation of young girls to dress like tarts. What's that about feminism? I thought feminism was about feeding your brain, feeding your intellect. It seems that feminists don't even know what they stand for. 1 minute they stand for the promoting the brain, and the next they stand for celebrating their sex. Come on, make your mind up. You can't have it both ways. What I find most really shocking is how men are silent. Fathers. Men have become cowards. Men are scared of women. Oh my God, men are petrified of women. You ever watch these debate programs? You watch the men in the corner. You watch them, don't believe me. Watch these programs on gender pay, sexism, and you watch the men with a black or white in the corner, sucking his thumb. Big men! You watch them. Men have become cowards. It's no wonder he's lost control over his house. He's allowed gays to come in and influence what his daughter wears. He's allowed these gays, parasites, to come in and influence his household. Men have become cowards. We become girls. We have no control over our own house. In the olden days, the captain, he'd wear his uniform, steer the ship. If the ship got into trouble, passengers would come off board, and the captain would remain with that ship until he went down like a real man. Not anymore. Men have become chicken shit. His house is in trouble. But what does he do? He allows the government, the LGBT agenda, the feminists to control his household. You look at men when they're shopping, they don't know where they're coming or going. They have no sense of identity. They have no control. The government has stripped it from him. Now his daughter's a whore, having sex at 12 and 13, and if the survey is right, they're looking at pornography at 8 years old. Can you imagine 8 years old, only come into the world 2 seconds ago, and already looking at pornography? Can you imagine you're sitting with your children having dinner, Sunday dinner, and they're looking at pornography? How can you even look them in the face? And your children are sleazy. Have you ever questioned your daughter, why do you want to wear shorts all the way up your crack? Why? What's your reason? Why do you want to wear shorts up your crack? In front of your father, in front of your brothers, in front of the whole wide world. When you break it down, Muhammad Ali explained it beautifully when he said to his daughters, he said, you know something? The most beautiful diamonds are hidden. The most beautiful diamonds are hidden. Let people have to search for it hard. But anything that is on the open is cheap. I thought, wow, what a great man. And if I had daughters, I would say the same thing. The most beautiful diamonds are hidden. Men or anybody don't respect trash. They don't respect what is so easily attainable. It's the same in life. If you're going to work hard for something, you know, when you get there, you think, wow, you appreciate it more. When it's easy like that, you can see it, you can have it, you have no respect for it. Even in marketing, they say if you put a price too low, I've seen it in marketing, if your price is too low, people have no respect for it. But when you put a price that is high, if you say something like, let's say for some, this book, right? If I can't see the sun, right? But if you, let's just say 200, you're like this, what? 200? All of a sudden you'd hold it carefully, you know, very, very gently, and you put it very gently. It's psychological. Then you say something like this one, $2. You be like, it's $2, I don't care. The more value you put on an item is the more likely you are to treat it with respect. People are not going to treat your daughters dressed like tarts, like hookers, like trash. They're not going to treat them like children because they're not dressed like children. They're not acting like children. You dress accordingly to how you want people to see you and treat you like. You dress accordingly to how you want to be perceived. If you want to be taken if you want people to take you with respect, you dress appropriately. If you want people to see you as a chav, then you wear a hoodie and your trousers halfway down your backside, just like a hip hop person. And that's how people treat you as. How you dress and how you speak dictates how people will treat you. So when the parents allow their kids to walk around like trash, it tells you more about the parents because they've lost control. And when you've lost control of your house, the social services start to move in and claim all kind of abuse are happening. So it's a vicious cycle. You got to remain control of your house. I know it's difficult times for men. You know, they don't know where they're coming or going. They don't even know their identity. You know, and masculinity is under attack. If you dare have a deep voice, if you dare have strength, you know, you're a bigot, you're sexist. Yeah, talk like a girl. Oh. And that's what they call being a real man. Talk like a soft voice and act all scared again. So men, you don't see any real men taking control of their children. You don't see that anymore. You look at TV if you don't believe me. Look at the TV. They got debates on gender and watch the men. In the corner, one up in the mouth. When they come to racism, immigration, they'll scream their mouth down. But when it comes to women, men are scared. They are petrified. And now we've lost control of our daughters. There's a video, I'm not sure if it's on here. I think it's on one of my videos. Why are white males committing suicide? If you were a white male and you had homosexuals, LGBT telling you they want to use your toilet, they want to turn your sons inside out, I think you'd commit suicide if you were man enough and strong enough to fight back. You yourself would commit suicide. Men are too weak. There's a group on YouTube called Men Going Their Own Way. MG, Men Going Their TOW, Men Going Their Own Way. Right? And it's men who have had enough of females, feminism, women. They're not gay. They just had enough of the politics. They've reached breaking point. They've had a nervous breakdown. And their solution, have their own house, their own career, and live their lives alone. It's come to that. It's come to that. Other white men, they go to Far East and they marry Chinese women, Far Eastern women, which is my next video. How men are fighting back at feminism. They go to the Far East. They can't handle the British and the American. And funny enough, the British and Americans are worse, for this aggressive feminism. They are worse. No, I'm not sure why. Well, the two terrorist countries, Britain, America. I'm not surprised. Troublemaking countries, you know. But men have to take a stance, you know, over the household. They've got to, because some of the clothing that the children are wearing is just sleazy. You know, kids are supposed to be kids, not dressed like adults. It's just vile, and the mother's there, you know, looking to see if any pedophile predator. He said, wait there, dress them up. Don't act like you're an angel and your kids are dressed like tramps. Don't act like you're a good mother, you're an angel, and your kids are dressed half naked, and you look around to see who the pervert. You're the damn pervert for allowing your kids to dress out in the first place. Show some responsibility. Show some responsibility.